Today we'll continue talking about the warm dress. Today we're going to cut the flounce, the sleeve, the lining, then we'll put it all away, make up the base and start constructing the collar. I'll show you on what depends the level of the stand-up, turn-down collar, so you can cut any collar for your neckline. You can't even imagine the circumstances in which me and Alexei are working today. Our studio is moving to another place, our fashion house changes the home. The new one is more presentable, more stylish, so last night till 2 a.m. we were transporting the furniture, the sewing machines. We were doing it at night because we are moving to a good residential complex and they let transporting the equipment only at night. We are shooting from our window right now, and look here, this is a newly built 24-floor house, residential complex Большой. We didn't like it at first, because it obstructed the light, and it's so uncomfortable to have it in front of our studio. We got used to seeing the blue sky in front of us, and now there's that house. But then we looked at it closer, realized that it's a civilization coming to us, and decided to move in there. So we rented 131 square meters on the second floor, and started moving in at night. Last night we were moving all the equipment, but even in such conditions, we are shooting the videos. We want you to see what is going on here in the studio. We already got used to. Here's the place where we're usually shooting, but of course we are not going to do it here anymore. All the next videos will be shot in the new apartment. There's still some equipment in one room, so we can shoot the video today. Now let's get back to our dress. Look at the table. Here's our back and front sides. Remember that the back is shorter because we have a frill there. Here's our waistline. Enclose them and check what we got here. The back is 30 cm shorter, but we have 5 cm for overcast, so we need to cut 4 cm here. I'll explain you why. We cut 4 cm off the back so that the frill is not short. So the back is not 30, but 34 cm shorter than the back. I'll explain you why. Okay, so here starts the frill, be very attentive, and 5 cm for overcast. Our frill will be here, of about 30 cm. Here it is, 30 cm. Great. So the frill is 30 cm. Now the width. We'll leave some space for the seam and then measure it. 33 cm. Increase it in 1.5 times. It would be about 48. Okay, let's take about a meter for the frill. We had the width 33, and the coefficient of our frill is 1.5, so we need 48 centimeters, and we take 1 meter. Always straighten the bottom. Do not hope that someone in the shop did it. They don't even try to, they just want to sell the fabric. Mark 35 centimeters. I'll cut the whole piece now, and then we'll cut 1 meter out of it. I'm not going to use this piece for the sleeves anyway. Here is our frill. We do not need more than 1 meter. For such a strong fabric, we do not use coefficient 1.7 or 2, we take just 1.5. Here we have a strong woolen crepe. It has a strong form. I'm not going to wash this fabric myself. I will either take it to the dry cleaners or just wear it really. It's not applicable for washing. Strong double crepe. I would just take it to the dry cleaners, I think. Put away our frill for now. It's ready. Let's start cutting the sleeve. The sleeve goes a bit beyond the elbow, so I'll leave it this way. Let's pin it here, so that the length is the same at both sides and our future work is easier. Pretty wide sleeve. Give me a second, I'll tell you the length. Very good length, 46 centimeters with the overcast. Light decline here and here. You ask a lot of questions on how to work with the fit in ease. I'm telling you once again, it was included in the basic pattern. For example, in my basic pattern, the fit in ease is 3 centimeters. That means that in full girth it's 6 centimeters. It's enough to feel comfortable. But I can always extend any parts, shoulders, waist. Yes, I cut very fast, and I don't tell you what I extend, but you see it yourselves. Of course, I did not sit with a calculator thinking how much centimeters to add. I know it all. When you do it a couple of times, you'll understand how much you need. Elena Vladimirovna, our designer, just called me. She's going through a book which she has since the Soviet times, Codes of Complicated Cuts. So she just called me saying they add so much. I told her that because of that there was no style. Do not compare what is written in the book and what we actually put on people. See that the sides are not equal? I need to cut some here. If something similar happens, don't worry. You shouldn't put the fabric like this or that. It should be put this way, especially if the fabric is that strong. So here's our sleeve. The frill is ready, the sleeve is ready. We can start cutting the lining. I usually don't recommend to cut the lining before fitting. If I had a fitting item, I wouldn't do it. But it's a white dress, and I know myself I wouldn't change anything in it, and if I would, we'll just make some changes. So now let's cut the lining. I don't like the polyester lining. I think it should be made of the natural fabrics. I hardly believe that the fabrics which we call viscose are all natural, but still we have a slight consolation thinking that it's a natural viscose lining. I hardly believe that, because a lot of viscose fabrics are produced in the countries where there are no forests. I don't think that they order wood from Siberia and then just make the linings. But let's believe that we have a viscose lining, which doesn't stretch. It's good because the dress is white, so we don't need it to stretch. I put the front side here and cut. I don't pin anything. We'll have a lining in the front, back and the sleeve. No lining in the frill, of course. You'll see how I transfer tuck to the lining. There's nothing complicated in sewing a dress with a lining. I think we'll work with the linings more and more, and you'll have less and less problems. If we need 2 meters of fabric for a dress, we need almost the same amount for the lining. Just a bit less because we don't need it for the frill. I use a bigger piece just because I had it. We have a lot of work because I want to show you a lot of technical moments. I'm actually really glad that the modern fashion proposes such nice white dresses under which we can hide all we want. How happy we should be! Very nice. So we cut it, and let's draw the tuck right away. I've already told you that we draw a straight tuck and tack it with the slant stitches. Look, I also have a waistline on the lining. We don't need this pattern anymore, so you can throw it in the trash can. Don't be afraid of the big tucks. Just look at what the system comes up with. We do not have it in our measurement system, we just find it using the residual method. Here is our tuck, very nice. We need to transfer it to the lining, throw the pattern in the trash, then we transfer it from the lining to the second side and then to the dress itself. Broke my nails tonight when we were moving the sewing machines. We are very glad. Yes, it would be hard for a couple of weeks, but we are moving to the much more comfortable studio, so we are happy. So look what we have. Turn the lining. Here's the final point of the tuck. Draw the tuck in accordance to our pins. Let's draw them on the other sides too. The peak, couple of pins. We're going to cut the lining for the back next. And then we'll cut the lining for the sleeve after the fitting, because I don't know how wide it would be. Now we can put the front side away. Notice that I put the frill away, put the sleeves away, put the front away, its lining. Here's our back. Notice that the waist was straightened, no curves, the back is straight. Here's the tuck. We need it for the armhole to fit perfectly. Remember that the back is 35 centimeters longer, because there will be no frill in the lining. 35 centimeters. We extended the side and the middle on the 35 centimeters till the line. It's so awful to work with the broken nails. But I'm not fixing them because we're going to move the next boxes tonight. Did you understand why I extended it? Because there will be no frill in the lining, only in the item itself. The dress will be very interesting at the back. Of course, it's also very interesting at the front side with the lace, but I would love to make a puffy back. Here is our shoulder tuck, which we need a lot. We transfer it, and then we can throw away the pattern. The waistline should be marked on the lining too. I was walking along the street and met one tailor I know. She was in a jacket, and I noticed that the front center was not correct. And she asked me, how much does it cost to sew a coat or a raincoat in your studio? So she was asking the price, how much people pay for our work. So I asked her back if she followed all the rules when constructing the front center. And she asked me, what's the front center is? No comments here. We don't do anything for ourselves not knowing where's the back and there's the front's middle. And how can we make something for the clients? We transfer the tuck. Now we can put away the lining. It's ready. A lot of people ask what serpянка is. I later realized that in Krasnodar we call so all the adhesive materials. I don't know why, but here in Krasnodar we call them all serpянка. I didn't know this word either and confused a lot of people, but now you know that we call so all the adhesive materials. Maybe one day we'll shoot the video on the adhesive materials, but not now. Look here. Here is our tuck. We'll try to iron it because it's very stiff now. Imagine, for example, you put the glasses on during the fitting and you want to make it smaller. No problems. Make the opening smaller and cut the extra piece here. Be very careful. Cut the same amount you change. Otherwise, you would damage the item. You can't cut anything here. Look how wider is the lower part of the tuck. Because it's slant. It's not a problem. Mark the waistline and cut the difference. Thanks to such tuck, you won't have any curves at the front. Mark the waistline. Very nice. Let's continue working. Look, the shoulders are equal. If you measure and cut everything right, you won't have any differences. One part won't be wider or longer than the other. Otherwise, we won't know what to cut, how much to cut, and the whole item would go crisscross. Notice that I started to tack the shoulders. We have such a long video today to show you the collar. Look, I tacked the shoulders just to check the neckline. I haven't tacked the sides or the frill, just the neckline. It's very nice, not till the very neck, so I'm satisfied. And now we start constructing the collar. Stand up, turn down collar.